So today we are going to talk about getting a job in esports. So you want a job in esports, you want a career. What does that even mean? How do you get a job? What do I recommend you do? What kind of industries are there? So the first thing that you need to decide is what kind of job do you want? There are three main industries that I see in esports. They are K-12, they are higher education, and then there's business and industry. So I want to talk about each one of those. I want to talk about the qualifications for those jobs mainly. And hopefully this allows you to start to narrow down, well, where are your interests? Because that's really the big part of this. So let's start out talking about K-12. So the kind of jobs in K-12, there's not a lot in K-12 happening right now. For the most part, the jobs in K-12 are coach or leading clubs. This is mostly done by some kind of technology teacher or an educational technology professional. So basically, if you're just interested in going into K-12, you probably need a teaching degree or a K-12 degree to get a job at a school to be able to do esports at that school. At this time, there really isn't jobs in esports at the school level that are simply just an esports coach. I do know schools that have esports varsity coaches, but they're no different than like the football coach, where it's usually someone who works at the school. So that's where K-12 is right now. That doesn't mean it's not going to change, but really for the most part, that's where it is. You'd be very hard pressed to, not have a teaching degree and find a good esports job at a school at this time. But when we talk about college, it's completely different than K-12. Colleges, first of all, colleges have way more money and funding than K-12. Colleges can also do things for profit. Even state universities that are nonprofit universities do things to make money, whereas K-12 does not focus on that. So colleges are doing a number of different things, and let me talk about some of the jobs that I've seen lately. So first of all, colleges are forming teams, which means they need coaches. They have directors, coaches, they have people who are general managers of the team. They actually have trainers for the team, people who are like a chiropractor or a medical professional training the team. They need to write up legal documents for the university. They need, various different kinds of positions. Faculty. I have seen tenure track faculty positions in esports to teach esports curriculum. So there are a number of different jobs in higher ed that have been simply created because of esports, and they are out there. They can pay really well. And while, a very small percentage of colleges in the United States have esports programs right now, in the next 5 years, this video will be outdated, way outdated, because every single college in the United States will have an esports team. So this is a huge growing industry that if you're getting in now's a great time to get in there if you're interested in being like a coach or something like that. There's also the need, other jobs, production, streaming, shoutcasting, tournament organizer, creating the events for esports. All that kind of stuff are part of the college scene. Okay. So we get out of college and we start talking about business and industry. Business and industry, the opportunities are endless, really endless. Besides all the jobs that I just mentioned for higher ed, like coaches, tournament organizers, event planners, we need people to run events. We need lawyers to write the contracts for the players. We need medical professionals to train the players. Professional teams have sponsors that might live in a house with a team, that adjust their schedule, their managers, general managers, all kinds of different positions within the industry. Then we have all the game publishers and industries that want people who are familiar or can do esports stuff, like esports marketing, esports social media, esports graphic design, go and present to potential investors about esports. So just being aware of the industry, being able to write business plans or proposals. There are so many different components to it. So how do you get one of those jobs? I just mentioned like so many different kinds of jobs, and there are a lot. There really are a lot of them. So how do you get one of these? So first, I want to say it depends on many variables. So some of these jobs require a certain education. Like, for example, let's say that you want to be a marketing professional in esports. If you want to be a marketing professional in esports, I would suggest, so let's start out with education. You probably need a degree in marketing, and you probably need some kind of courses or certificate or curriculum in esports. You combine both of those together, perfect marriage, and now we're ready to do the rest. Okay, so the rest of it is, first of all, you need to have a good resume. So you need to work on your resume. You need to build your resume. I've created videos on creating a resume. Check them out. Specifically, things on your resume that you want to put when you're applying for an esports related position, you want to show the employer that you understand this industry. So that probably means, in addition to at the top of the resume where you might have a website, you might have your Twitch address, you might have your Instagram or Twitter feed, something like that. You're probably going to have on your resume to show them that you're part of the community. You don't just know about it, you're in it, right? The other thing they're really going to care about is that you have a portfolio. So let's say you want a job as a shoutcaster. No one's just going to hire you as a shoutcaster. You need to have some experience doing it, and experience doing it for real events. So that's one of the things that I'm big about, is getting people experience. So our certificate program that I teach in at UNCW, one of our goals is to get you that experience. I tell students, get involved in our esports club, get internships, and actually do events, shoutcast events, put a reel together, and all of a sudden you have a shoutcasting reel that you can submit as part of a portfolio for an esports position. Super important to have that portfolio, however you're going to get it, but you need to get experience. In college is one of the best ways to do that right now. Super great way to get into the industry. And those are the three big things: the resume, portfolio, experience, in addition to your education, that I think you really, really, really need to get those positions. Some of these positions are good paying. We have the military's hiring people for esports right now, literally every industry. So it's a great growing field. Any report that I've seen has showed significant growth, like 30 to 40% for the foreseeable future each year, which is absolutely crazy, considering other fields might have negative growth at some points. So it's a really, really, really new industry. So this kind of video is going to change significantly in 1 year from now. We're going to be looking at this and saying, does this still apply? It might, but it might not. And I could definitely see there being changes. So it's going to be interesting to watch that growth, especially as these industries like K-12 might expand significantly. And you might start seeing real full-time good coaching jobs in K-12, especially at bigger schools that are making some kind of profit from it. That's really where it's going to go. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. It's just a little bit about jobs in esports, how to get into the career, some things you can do to ensure that you get a position. Thanks a lot, all.